This is our instrument TableManners, which is part of the Come Dine With Me ensemble. It's based on the idea of making sounds of dinner musical and provides the low end for the ensemble. There's a mic placed under the table, which is connected to Max MSP through an M-Box Mini. And there's two IR sensors on the surface of the table connected to an Arduino here, and that goes straight into Max MSP from there. This is the first IR sensor. It controls the loop points primarily. The first part is the loop start point, and that's controlled by the average position over the last 2.5 seconds. The second part is the loop length, which is controlled by overall rate of change averaged over the last 2.5 seconds. So the more changing we do, the shorter it gets. So the more active I am, the more active the sound is. This is the second IR sensor. It's in charge of the delay length and also the playback speed of the output. The overall position over the last 2.5 seconds controls the delay length. Positions closer to the IR sensor result in longer delays. And then, again, like the first IR sensor, the overall rate of change averaged over the past 2.5 seconds controls the playback speed between 20% and 50%, with more active being faster. Then there's a number of parameters that are controlled by a combination of the two working together in different ways. The first is the overall amplitude, controlled by the average of the two sensors. So if there's nothing on the table, nothing blocking either of them, there's no sound, and then as we come closer to the sensors, it gets louder. If there's just one, it's about half as loud as if there's two, and that's it, that works. Then we have a high shelf filter. It has a fixed center frequency of 440 Hz and a fixed slope of 1. The gain on the shelf is controlled by the difference in average activity of the two sensors over the past 2.5 seconds. So if they're both very active, we get a high gain. If they're both very inactive, we get a high gain. But if one is very active and the other isn't, we get a low gain. And that's mapped between 0.1 and 1. In order to combat excessive volume, the buffer is analyzed for average amplitude. If this is over 0.8, the amplitude of the buffer is divided by 4. If any 100 millisecond section of the buffer reaches a maximum amplitude, the amplitude of the entire buffer is cut to 9/10.